Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today, we are going to talk about recruitment marketing and reaching the right candidate in a digital-first job market. I'm Taylor Nelson, digital strategist here at KeyMedia Solutions.
And I'm Michelle Medendorf, Accounts Manager. Okay, so let's start. First and foremost, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to 10 and 10. Just as Taylor said, today we're talking about recruitment marketing and how digital advertising can help businesses reach qualified candidates in a more competitive hiring environment. So for a long time, recruitment was treated separately from marketing. A company posted a job, waited for applications, and hoped the right people saw it. But today, that is not always enough. So to help set the stage for today's conversation, Taylor, what do we mean when we say recruitment marketing?
So, recruitment marketing is the use of a marketing strategy to attract and engage potential candidates before they apply. Instead of only waiting for someone to find the job posting, recruitment marketing helps employers get it in front of the right people across the digital spaces they already use. That could include programmatic display, paid search, retargeting, connected TV, audience targeting, and stronger message strategy. The goal is not to just drive more traffic. The goal is to help the right candidates become aware of the opportunity, understand why it matters, and take the next step.
That's a great foundation. Let's build on that a little. Why has recruitment become more of a marketing challenge?
That is a great question. So, candidates behave a lot like consumers. They compare their options, research companies, and think about whether an opportunity fits their life. They're not only looking at the job title, they're considering pay, benefits, schedule, the commute, the culture, stability, and whether there's growth opportunities. So, a simple now hiring message may not be enough. Employers need to communicate why the opportunity is worth considering.
So you mentioned that employers have to be more intentional about how they reach candidates. Why are traditional job postings or organic posts not always enough?
They usually depend on the candidate already looking. If someone is actively searching, they may find the job, but a lot of qualified people are not checking job boards every day. Some may be open to a better opportunity, but they need to see the message first. So, digital recruitment marketing helps reach both active and passive candidates. It gives employers more control over who they reach, how often they show up, and what messages candidates see.
That is actually that actually leads into a real example. We have a KeyMedia Solutions recruitment case study that shows this in action. What was the challenge there?
So, we partnered with a regional financial services firm that wanted to increase online applications through its website. The challenge was especially focused on the small and rural communities where applicant volume has been limited. The important part is that this was not just about getting more clicks. The client needed to understand whether digital advertising was reaching the right communities, increasing applications, and supporting those actual hiring outcomes. That's where the key media tieback comes in. Media performance should always connect back to the business goals. In recruitment, that means looking beyond impressions and asking whether the campaign helped reach people who may actually apply and get hired.
So we have talked about attracting candidates, but there's more to it than just getting someone's attention. How does recruitment marketing support the candidate journey?
A job posting usually focuses on that final step, applying, but candidates often need awareness and confidence before they get there. Recruitment marketing helps support that full path. First, the candidate becomes aware of the employer, then they see the message again, learn more about the opportunity, and eventually they take action. That is where tactics like programmatic display, connected TV, paid search, and retargeting can work together. One channel may introduce the employer, another may capture active job searches, and retargeting can bring people back after they visit the careers page. So it's really that full funnel approach.
Right. So once you're reaching the right people, another important piece is what they actually see. What role do targeting and messaging play in making recruitment campaigns work?
So honestly, they are two of the biggest pieces. So targeting helps make sure that the campaign reaches people in the right geography or audience group. and messaging helps explain why the opportunity is relevant. In the case study, geography mattered because the client needed to reach smaller communities. And here at KeyMedia, we analyzed the applicant and the campaign data by community size to understand whether the applications and where the applications and hires were coming from. On the messaging side, the campaign cannot rely only on now hiring. Different candidates care about different things like stability, benefits, flexibility, career growth, training schedule, and working close to home. A strong message speaks to what candidates actually value.
For sure. So it is one thing to talk about strategy, but it's another to see results. What were the strongest results from the case study?
The case study showed that the campaign helped increase applications and hiring outcomes, especially in smaller communities. Applications from communities under 20,000 people nearly doubled while maintaining a steady 13% hiring rate. The campaign also saw a 76% rise in applications and 94 more hires from small towns. Another important point is that the applicants from communities under 20,000 increased from 29% to 47%. That shows that the campaign was not just creating more activity, it was helping the client reach the communities they needed to reach.
Those are actually impressive outcomes. But beyond applications and hires, how should businesses measure whether recruitment marketing is working?
So applications are important, but they're not the only metric. A small recruitment campaign may look at impressions, clicks, the click-through rate, career page visits, the apply button clicks, completed applications, cost per applicant, and when available, hiring data. Hiring data is especially valuable because it helps connect media activity to real outcomes. A campaign can drive traffic, but if that traffic does not turn into applications or hires, the strategy may need to change. The goal is to understand the full path from an ad exposure to application to hire. And I think the most important thing here is you can get all the applications in the world, but if they're not truly the most qualified people to fill that position, then you definitely need to tailor your advertising campaign a little bit differently to help you get those qualified people in the door.
100%. So before we wrap up, I think it's worth talking about what can go wrong. What is one of the biggest mistakes employers make with recruitment marketing?
One of the biggest mistakes is treating recruitment advertising like a one-time job announcement instead of an ongoing strategy. It is not enough to post once and hope the right person applies. Employers need to think about reach, frequency, message, audience, and the application experience. Even a strong campaign can struggle if the careers page is confusing, the application is too long, or the job description does not clearly explain why the opportunity is worth considering. There's so much data behind like the more clicks it takes a person to get to that job application, especially if it's a specific job application, the more likely they are to fall off.
We have covered a lot today, from strategy and targeting to real campaign results. So to bring everything together, what do you think is the biggest takeaway for businesses that are struggling to recruit qualified candidates?
In my opinion, the biggest takeaway is that recruitment marketing should be treated as a strategic digital campaign, not just a job posting. When audience strategy, message strategy, media placement, and measurement work together, employers can reach candidates earlier, stay visible longer, and build a stronger path from awareness to application. And as the KeyMedia case study shows, the right strategy can do more than just increase clicks. It can help connect digital advertising to real recruitment outcomes.
Awesome. Well, I think that is a great place to end. I don't know if we still have 1 more minute. I don't know if you want to wait to receive any questions.
We certainly can. If you guys have any questions about anything that we went over today, please drop them in the chat now or at a later date. We will be more than happy to answer them. Also, if you have any type of topic that you would like us to hit on in a future 10 at 10, we are more than happy to do so. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything come through. So,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we can conclude right now. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for another 10 at 10. If your organization is struggling to reach qualified applicants, especially in competitive or hard to reach markets, recruitment marketing may be the next area to evaluate.
Yes. Thanks everyone for joining us. Someone will be back next week at 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
Bye.